What's up, YouTube? It is me, Topher Crost, here to talk to you about my most anticipated remake of whenever the hell it's coming out, Final Fantasy VII. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on the remake so far. It's a video I actually wanted to do like a year ago, but never got a chance to do because I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time. I was in between channels. So let's talk about it. So the Final Fantasy VII Remake is a project that we thought wasn't going to happen until we got some footage of it in, I think the original one was E3 2013 where they did the PS3 demo of it, and then we got another one in 2015 when they did the PS4. Don't quote me on those dates, I'm terrible with dates, but we got one I think in 2015 when they did the PS4 showing of it. You know, they announced it, that the remake is happening, you know, after all this time, finally the remake. So, we don't really know a lot about the remake so far. I'm going to talk about the things that we do know. First off, that it is not going to be released anytime soon, and that's fine with me. I don't want it to be released anytime soon. Well, I do want it to be released anytime soon. But I don't want it to release anytime soon because guess what? That means it's going to be better. I want them to take their time with this game, and as much as I want it out tomorrow, I'm going to wait if it's going to be better. The second thing that they are talking about is the new battle system. There's going to be a new battle system in the game, which is fine for me, but it's pretty controversial to most people. Most people are like, well, you know, we want it to be a remake. We want it to be a lot like the old game. We want it to be the turn-based battling system. I hate that the battling systems are oversimplified nowadays. We're turning it from an RPG into an action RPG, and I get that argument. I get that, you know, that you want to have that nostalgia for the Final Fantasy VII game. But I also get the other side of that argument. Let me go through the nostalgia side first. Then I'm going to go through the other side. But the nostalgia side basically says that we're simplifying games a little too much, and that if we simplify the Final Fantasy VII game that's coming out with changing of the battle system, that it's going to you know, ruin it for me because I used to play the game and I loved the challenge of it. Even though Final Fantasy VII wasn't really the hardest Final Fantasy to beat, let's be honest, it was still pretty challenging for most of us back in the day. That being said, I do understand where those people are coming from because I would love to see the old battle system in there just super, you know, with voice acting and kind of like a Final Fantasy X, you know, where they were talking during the battle and stuff like that. That would be really cool if they did that. And they've already said they're not, but it'd be really cool if they did because, I mean, you would get that nostalgia boner. You'd get it back, and it would just be a lot of fun. But on the other side is, well, it'll bring new people into the game. And who's to say it's going to be simplified? You know, the battle system. It'll you know, it's a new battle system. You know, you don't want to play the same game again. And to that I say I do want to play the same game again, but I am all for the new battle system because not only, will it bring new players in to experience this amazing game, but what it will also do is make the game feel fresh for us older Final Fantasy fans. I mean, I've played Final Fantasy VII through probably like 12, 13 times. Every time a little bit differently, but I've played it through a lot. And to be honest, the change would be nice. Kind of like maybe like a Crisis Core battle system. It'd be really cool if it was like a Dissidia Kingdom Hearts battle system, which through the trailers that we've seen, it looks more like a Kingdom Hearts type of battle system, which is A-okay with me because that was a good battle system. You know, where you do the menus, but you can also kind of walk around. But yeah, that's pretty cool, so I like that. But the thing that I am worried about with the new battle system is that they will oversimplify it and kind of like completely take the materia out and make it like easier for newer players. And I hate that they do that with games. I really do. I cannot stand that they make new games so easy compared to old games, or so simple compared to old games. They did it with Fallout 4. They took the interaction system out. Instead of having to read sentences, you got 4 buttons. You didn't know what the hell you were going to say. You just got 4 buttons, and that drove me nuts. They simplified it. I didn't like that. They simplified the level up system. You know, you could level up your skills. I guess that was okay, but I really didn't like it. I don't like when they do the oversimplification. If you played Final Fantasy XIII, the battle system was, yeah, it was kind of complicated, but it was still kind of stupidly simple at the same time. You didn't really have to pay attention to even all 3 of your characters. You just kind of changed their roles around as the battle went on, and your other characters would be pretty much the same throughout the battle, and you would just fight with your one character. It was kind of meh. You know, I didn't really like 13. Sorry, spoiler alert. If I ever do a list about that, I didn't like 13. So that would be my problem with the new battle system, is if they made it too easy. Kind of took out the materia system altogether, the summons altogether, so I don't know exactly how they're going to do that, but I would really hope that they would fix that up or make it, challenging for players. Also, they better have Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon in the game, because I still, to this day, I got close. I have not beaten Ruby Weapon. I will beat Ruby Weapon, and the day I do, I'm going to come on YouTube. Ruby Weapon! The second thing that we're going to talk about is the fact that the game is going to tell a story differently. They said they're not going to add any new characters. They said they are going to tell the story differently than the old story. I don't think they're going to change any of the big moments like Aerith dying. Spoiler alert. If you don't know that by now, I'm sorry. So I don't think they're going to change her dying or anything like that, or, Sephiroth summoning a meteor, or the whole exchange with Barrett and his friend. I can't remember his name. I've played the game so many times. I cannot remember Barrett's left gun arm brother's name. Marlene's actual dad. And that was a really nice story. I still remember the story. I love the story. I just can't remember that. But they're gonna change it a little bit around. I would assume what they mean by that is they are going to change the fact that you're gonna have to get Vincent and Yuffie in this version, because you didn't have to get them in the other version. They were just characters that you could or could not get. I would assume, hopefully, they'd be a little more important, and probably a lot more to do with Zack. Those are probably the differences in the story. At least that's what I think they're going to do. And last but not least, the last thing that we know is probably the thing that I actually take the most issue with, is the fact that it is going to be episodic, or maybe not necessarily episodic, but in it's going to be more than one game. This I really have a problem with, and I understand why they're doing it. Will make more money, but they're doing it because you have to think how big of a game that was for its time, and now they have to add voice acting. They have to have fully fledged cutscenes for all of it. They're probably going to have to varying cutscenes, like depending on which order you do it, unless that's what they also mean kind of by switching up the story. And that's a lot to do. That is a big project. There's a lot of people that are going into that. That game will save Square Enix from any future bankrupting for a while, but it might bankrupt them in the process of making the game if they don't do it in parts. So I get it, but I'm not happy about it. Honestly, if they could wait it out, I would spend more than $60. In fact, I'd spend probably maybe $100 on the game, on a remake of Final Fantasy VII, if it was complete and it had all of this in it and it had all this effort into it. I'd probably spend that much money. What do you think? Would you spend that much money on it? Do you think you'd spend $100 on the game if it was like really good and it had everything together, really well made game, game with everything, versus it being episodic? I'm gonna be pretty mad that I can't play it all the way through the first time, and in fact, it might get to the point where I know I'm gonna end up getting it the day it comes out, regardless. But it might be to the point, depending on where they cut it off, where I get so frustrated that I might not want to play the other ones until they're all out. If I had to estimate, I'd say they do it in 3 parts. I don't remember if they said they were going to do it in 3 parts, but I think that's what they're going to do. Because of 3 discs. That's kind of how I see it. At the end of the... If I remember correctly, the first disc ends right after the ancient city thing where you head there, and then Aerith, kind of gets that. But that's pretty much all we know about the game so far. That's another thing that's bugging me. These news updates are coming so few and far between that we just can't, we don't know anything. They're killing their own hype. And it's driving me insane waiting for these news updates. I don't think we've gotten a good update. I think we got one like a couple months back that really it had a couple fucking screenshots in it of shit that we already knew. I mean, we're not getting any new information about it. That's driving me absolutely insane. And I know it's a big project, but somebody talk to us. The guy who is working on the game, I gotta find his name. Director of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Director of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Director. Okay, so I want to butcher his name, so I had to look it up. I'm still gonna butcher it. Tetsuya Nomura. Probably screwed that up. But anyway, he was saying in an interview pretty recently that he didn't want to, he understands that he needs to give us updates, but he didn't want to because it distracts him from the game. He doesn't want to see our reaction on it because he doesn't want it to affect the way he makes the game. Like if we weren't happy with something that he said, he didn't want that to change the way he did it. If we were sad or angry about something that he said. He didn't want to change the way he's doing the game. He wants to do it his way. And I have to have respect for that. But couldn't he get like a publicist or something that could do this without telling them? He'd be like, yeah, this is what's happening right now. Okay, I'll go tell the people. We're adding a new materia to the game right now. And then, so what did they say? Not telling you. Don't want it to affect that game. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Those are my thoughts. Like I said, it was a video I wanted to make a year ago. I just wanted to ramble on a little bit and get your opinions. Please, if you like this video, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the whole thing. I would love to discuss it with you and do a couple more of these in the future. Like I said, this is all just my opinion, but if you like this, please subscribe to my channel and like and share, I don't know, my videos. If you want, just watch some of my other videos. Just watch. Just watch a few of my other videos. It'd make me really happy if you did. If you hate me, that's fine. I know I'm fat and ugly. That's cool. I get it. But watch my other videos if you can. Alright, cool. Everybody, good night. Topher Crost out. Have a good night.